If there's one person other than Joe Biden himself who's most responsible for the woes of today's Democrat Party, it's this woman, Randi Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers. Now, with a radical political ideology and a huge budget to advance it, she has more influence on what happens in our schools than any superintendent or school board member. AFT's massive donor base has translated into major political clout. Now, whether we're talking woke curricula, COVID mandates, school closures, educational choice, Weingarten's views carry enormous weight among Democrats. The three members of the San Francisco School Board who were just recalled on Tuesday night cared more about satisfying Weingarten and the teachers' unions than the parents whose children they serve. Now, whenever overpaid educrats work overtime to protect teachers and advance the leftist political agenda, the AFT is super happy. What's best for children is never their primary consideration, no matter how much Weingarten tried to argue to the contrary.
We tried to actually reopen schools more quickly than almost anybody else. We know in-person learning is really important. I sat on the Cuomo Commission. We put a report out in April of 2020 about the steps to reopen schools and how safety was a vehicle to reopen schools.
But the states that took her advice are battling lockdowns and mask mandates to this day. Meanwhile, states like Florida, Texas, South Dakota, they figured out early on that the classroom was among the safest places for children. We all knew that. In-person English class wasn't any more of a super spreader than in-person shopping at Costco. But Randi, she didn't care. For her, COVID was an opportunity, and she tries to squeeze out as many concessions from you taxpayers as possible.
We need the money for PPE. We need the money for extra teachers. We need the money for extra cleaning and extra buses.
Pure extortion, of course. Even after Democrats in Washington appropriated billions to reopen schools, the unions just made more excuses to lock kids out of class. So the goalposts kept shifting. We'll reopen schools if you give us N95s and contact tracing. We'll only get back to work when all children are vaccinated or if you redo the entire HVA system in school. It was all ridiculous. It was never enough. We know that. And even Biden was, after he was elected and the Democrats earmarked billions for schools, that wasn't enough. And Randi was always on hand to take the side of teachers who didn't want to teach.
The fear isn't gone. You see it in who is back in school and who isn't. Some school staff need accommodations.
And who can forget how nasty and sloppy Randi's acolytes became during COVID? Sitting at home in their athleisure wear, they felt very entitled and superior to the parents asking very inconvenient questions.
If you're going to call me out, I'm going to you up. Sorry, that's just me.
They want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back.
Gosh, I forgot about that one. Now, these clowns say what Weingarten thinks, but isn't stupid enough to say out loud. On second thought, she did let slip what she really thought of parents by enthusiastically tweeting out a Washington Post titled, "Parents claim they have the right to shape their kids' school curriculum. They don't." Well, neither she nor her activist members think parents have any right to offer input, let alone make demands about what they're teaching and how they're teaching it. Instead, they act like they're the bosses of the taxpayers who fund their salaries. And the Democrat politicians they fund, well, they just sing the same tune.
I met with the teachers' unions. They want to go back to school. They need some guidance.
My union has been trying to reopen schools since last April. We know how important in-school learning is.
Now, they flex their muscle in the Biden administration to keep schools closed as long as possible, perverting the CDC's guidance on reopening. They push for rewriting key lines in the agency's final draft, and when they got caught by the New York Post, well, Weingarten just brazenly brushed it off.
The Post saying those two suggestions that you offered, at least your organization offered, make it nearly verbatim in the final draft. Do you call that normal as far as the ability to do that?
They asked us for language, and we gave them language when they asked us for it. So there's nothing nefarious about doing this kind of work.
No, nothing nefarious, just your government acting like the pawn of the teachers' unions. Move along, folks. Don't pay attention to that. Oh, but of course, they could always count on Grandma Mimi to put a positive spin on the union's blatant corruption, no matter how many kids were hurt.
My whole mission in Congress is about the children, for the children. As you heard me say, you're in the arena, you have to be prepared to take a punch, you have to be prepared to throw a punch for the children, for the children.
That's echoing in my mind. The Democrats cared so much about the children that they joined themselves at the hip with the most anti-child personality out there. What they did to our kids has been nothing short of devastating. Lost learning, anxiety, lack of exercise, weight gain, depression, drug use, lost socialization. That's just a start. All of that was brought on by the lockdowns that Weingarten strenuously advocated. Did parents ever get an apology from her? Of course not, because she doesn't think she did anything wrong. And even as mask mandates are being dropped everywhere, Weingarten is still refusing to budge.
What's the argument against taking off masks in schools?
Let me just say this. I am in favor of an off-ramp on masks.
Right.
The real issue becomes, is the spread low enough so that there's no dissemination or transmission in schools?
You heard her. The masks stay on until there's no transmission in schools ever. That means zero COVID. That means masks forever. This woman is a menace. She couldn't get elected to pick up dog poop in San Francisco today. Now, during his campaign, Biden proudly promised to be a puppet for the teachers' union, and that's one promise he has kept. But if Biden continues to do that woman's bidding, he may find himself struggling even in liberal states. A new UC Berkeley poll found that Biden only has like 47 over 48 approval disapproval in California. And get this, Kamala Harris, she's at 38% approval in California. That's her home state, need I remind you. So things are really dire for the Democrats here. The guy who's really in charge, though, you know who he is. His name's Ron Klain, Biden's chief of staff. He headed up to Capitol Hill today to reassure Democrats that the White House will seek bipartisan solutions going forward. Well, those are nice words, but we've heard them before. The Democrats need something, all right. They need a clean break with the human wrecking ball who smashed our schools to smithereens these past 2 years. But I'm not holding my breath. But now is the time for conservatives to make inroads in these states like California, New York, Illinois, where parents of all political stripes they're waking up. Kevin Robinson of San Francisco told the LA Times that he found himself nodding along in agreement with staunch Republicans, people on Fox, right-wing news groups. We were the biggest district in the country that was the last to open up schools. We became a laughingstock of the world. How could this happen, he said. He's just one of many Democrats who suddenly found themselves voting with Republicans against school board members who just wouldn't listen. So with all of this, I just refuse to believe that states like New York and California, the home states of Bill Buckley and Ronald Reagan, are forever lost to the left. These are our fellow Americans, and we should do everything possible to help them. The Democrats' policies have led to high crime and high prices, and they've devastated our public schools. But because of our commitment to keeping the schools open and parents in control, look what we did. We took back Virginia. We nearly unseated Phil Murphy in New Jersey, and we've reclaimed school board seats all across the country. This is only the beginning. So if Biden and Harris aren't popular in California, and they're not, then the Democrats are vulnerable everywhere. The longer the Democrats dance to Randi Weingarten's tune, the stronger our populist movement will become. And only by beating them in 2022 and 2024 can we finally put this nonsense behind us and return our kids back to schools, real schools that really teach, that are not only open but responsive to the will of the parents. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.